Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and welcome to my guide to Castrum Abania, the level 69 dungeon accessed through the Stormblood 4.0 main scenario quests. This dungeon rewards item level 288 weapons, armor, and accessories, including one free item specifically for your current job upon completion. The final boss also drops a minion. This dungeon is broken up into several trash pulls, some environmental hazards, and 3 bosses. To skip to a specific boss, please check the description of the video for time skips. The first bunch of trash packs are, once again, full of mostly familiar Garlean enemies. The new Avenger type mobs do have a heavy hitting tank buster, so just be ready for some spike damage. The second set of trash comes 1 pack at a time for a total of 2 packs. The first pack will have 2 Vanguards and an Avenger, and the second pack will have 2 Avengers and 1 Vanguard. There are also Magitech bits throughout the entire dungeon that explode if not killed fast enough, so make a point of burning those down fast. After a few trash packs, you'll come to the first boss. I'll warn you now, welcome to Final Fantasy VI The Dungeon. The first boss of this dungeon is the Magna Rotor. He has a strong cleave, room-wide AoE, and a targeted AoE. The only mechanic that the boss really has here involves the cannons on opposite sides of the room. Occasionally, the boss goes to the south side of the arena and begins casting Wild Speed. Upon finishing, he will dash through the 4 line AoEs he has marked on the ground, one at a time. To knock him out of this attack, you'll need to kill one of the 2 adds that he'll spawn, then operate the cannon and fire it at the boss's location. Kill both adds, just to be certain, but you only need 1 dead in order to access a cannon and get him to stop using Wild Speed. Do this until the boss is dead. The second set of trash starts with 4 Magitech pods that will slowly cast Deployment. You'll want to kill as many as possible before they finish casting Deployment, as each one of them will spawn an add if alive at the end of the cast. Reasonably, you'll be able to defeat 2 of these before the add spawns, which you can dispose of like normal. The second trash pack starts with some Pugnacks before 2 Rotors will spawn and do a line AoE across the arena. The third trash pack has 4 pods and the 2 Rotors that spawn as pods are being killed. Kill everything off and move on to boss number 2. The second boss is number 24. Other than standard AoEs and tank busters, his main mechanic is Barrier Shift. Several points throughout the fight, the boss will summon 3 tower AoEs. Make sure 1 player is standing in each of them. You should recognize these AoEs by now. After this, 3 different AoEs will spawn from each of their locations, 1 fire, 1 ice, and 1 lightning. The boss will then channel Barrier Shift and say, "My cup runneth over with," and name 2 elements. You'll want to touch the circle of the 1 element he didn't mention. So if he says, "My cup runneth over with fire and ice," you'll want to go get the lightning buff. Attacking him without a buff or with the wrong buff will cause him to counterattack, dealing high damage and knocking you back. Repeat this until he's dead. The final bunch of trash here takes place on mostly a long bridge. Lots of Magitech bits, slashers, mini rear guards, and mini armored weapons spawn as you approach the later parts of the bridge, so be careful with how far you run and how many mobs you pull. After that, kill a Colossus and some slashers, and you'll be on the final boss. The final boss here is Inferno. The primary mechanic of this fight are the boss's 2 claws, Rahu, his right hand, and Ketu, his left hand. Each hand has its own mechanics tied to it, including proximity AoEs, line AoEs, conal AoEs, and normal AoEs. For the most part, you won't really need to know which one is tied to which hand, though the boss does get enhanced as the fight drags on. When his hands become enhanced, they gain additional effects, cast abilities faster, or summon more difficult to dodge AoEs. There are 2 that I think are worth mentioning above all else. The first is his tank buster, Ketu Slash. When enhanced, it leaves a dot on the tank. This dot can be cleansed, so I do recommend taking Asuna for this fight. The second one is Rahu Meteors, which are shown as proximity AoEs. When enhanced, these meteors knock back when they land, so if you aren't careful, you can be knocked into the other AoEs that are going off around the same time. When the second hand is enhanced, Inferno will also summon 2 claw adds that tether to players. The player should kill the claws they aren't tethered to. A large claw will also attempt to deliver a steroid to the tactician who enhances the Inferno, so kill it before it finishes reaching the opposite side of the arena and finishes its cast, or the boss will have that steroid applied to him. Pretty easy fight once you get over all the AoE spawning. Thank you for watching my guide to Castrum Abania. Be sure to check out my other dungeon guides, like, favorite, subscribe, and share, and stay tuned for everything Stormblood. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take care.